And welcome back to the Coach's Box. We're here, episode 4. You may see we're in a bit of a different setup. We're excited. We're very excited.
Changing things up, and who better to introduce it to than Nikki Gore?
Nikki Gore, welcome on the show. We're very happy to have you on. You've got some incredible achievements and a lot of experience, and we're keen to talk to you about your journey as a young footballer, especially being female. And it's the first woman we've had on the show. We hope to have many more, not just the blokes. Can't get all the credit. And we'll talk about footy, a bit of life, and a bit of childhood memories. A bit of tennis. Nice. We love a bit of that. So to quickly run through with the viewers, bit of your achievements, bit of your profile. Don't blush too much. You captained myself in the under-14s team back in 2014 at the local club of Christie's Beach. 2016, you then joined the senior side, helping them claim a premiership in 2017. 2018, you joined the South Adelaide Panthers. Very successful season, averaging about 20-odd disposals, collecting 21 touches and laying 8 tackles in a grand final victory over Nord. That was a very, very big game. Breakthrough Player Award, which you then won at the end of the year. Selected for the 2018 SNFL Women's Team of the Year. Also winning the Best and Fairest of South Adelaide. Huge achievement. Then you went on to represent South Australia, 18s championships, and then made the initial squad of the All-Australian team. Absolutely huge again. 2019, you went on to just lay massive tackles, disposals, claiming back-to-back premierships with South Adelaide. Then you went to Northern Territory, you played a couple of games over there in the VFL women's season. And then the big day came where you got drafted by Adelaide in the first selection, 8th overall. And you made your debut last year, 2019, against Greater Western Sydney. Now,
That's very impressive.
that is a massive...
Just want to say
that is a massive resume.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that I could compare that to.
No,
we had Jason on the show and his was amazing, but that resume, 20 years old.
Almost.
So you're 19, okay, that's even better. That's even better.
Top 12, doesn't it?
To have that sort of resume is unreal, and we're going to get a little bit into it a bit later, what you want to achieve in the next 5 years of your career and so on. But we're going to get straight into your journey, because I think this is going to be what a lot of viewers are excited to see is, as a young female footballer, your journey is probably a lot different to, say, just someone as a bloke that grew up playing footy, and it was probably a lot easier for guys a few years ago just to go straight into the AFL. So to start off with, talk us through how you went through your journey of football, starting from when you were young, little tacker, to the last year or so.
Yeah, so I basically started out, Mum and Dad always watched footy, I guess. So Nord, South, watched every game, went to every footy game. And then, kicked the footy at halftime, quarter time, built a love for it, did a few Oz kick games, and, typical Oz kick, love that.
Yeah.
And then, sort of 2010, I reckon it was, when I decided, look, I actually want to start playing this game. And then, played a first season out at McLaren Eagles, which was an all-boys team as well. But they weren't as inclusive of me. So moved across here to Christie's, and that's where it all kicked off, I guess. So, it was pretty crazy moving into an all-boys team and being the only girl. And then, obviously, Layla came along as well, which was nice. But, it's different. Like, I remember in year 5 when I was still chatting to my teacher, and he was like, what do you want to do when you become older? And I was like, I want to be an AFL player. He's like, there's no AFL like for women's. And I was like, I want to be an AFL player. You're not holding me to that. I'm being an AFL player. Yeah. And then, a few years, it's all sort of gone into place for me and been perfect. So, it's all tied in pretty well. And then, got picked up and sort of dream come true, and here I am. So,
and that's the reality of it. Is a few years ago, young girls didn't have that opportunity where they're like, I'm going to play AFL.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And for you to have that mindset of I'm just going to play AFL, that is incredible. We were definitely talking before, and we just said it's unreal, your mindset and obviously your mental battles you would have had to go through to make sure you can play at that highest level. What age did you start playing? What was the first sort of the game? How old were you? Do you know?
I was in probably 11, I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
When I started.
That's super young. I think obviously we probably started playing when we were in Oz kick or whatever.
I was never an Oz kick. I was always tennis when I was young.
Oh, that's right. You're a tennis man. You're a tennis man.
Yeah, and then got into it later in life. So I recently did a uni report on like female participation in AFL.
Yep.
And I found a reason why there's not a lot is because parents and stuff don't want their, kids getting injured and stuff. Because obviously it's renowned pretty brutal game. What was your mum's initial reaction, or your parents just in general initial reaction when you wanted to become a AFL player?
Yeah, I guess for me, they've been really supportive. So
Yep.
yeah, I guess I was lucky there that, mum always wanted to play footy when she was younger and never got that opportunity because it was a male sport, so you never could. So she was that typical netballer. So yeah, she was really supportive of me, and my dad both, really good for me. So I guess that really helped my journey and continue me to push hard and get that dream.
That's awesome.
100%. And now going back to the 14 days when you first started, so obviously you're with a whole bunch of blokes, and Layla was there, which was great. Obviously we're all friends, we're all mates out there, but was it intimidating playing with a whole bunch of guys? Because that's something I've always wondered is for a young girl at that time to come out and to dominate as well. Was it intimidating? Was it a physical challenge that you had to overcome playing with a whole bunch of guys? Or?
Yeah, I guess my first season was different. Coming into an all boys team, it was definitely something, a bit difficult to try and come in and be like, I'm a girl here playing a game and trying to earn the respect, I guess, of players. Feeling that, you got to do more to actually, be like them and sort of, get that respect. So, it was difficult at times, but then I guess, Christies were awesome. The under 14s there, you guys were all so inclusive of me. So, it definitely made it easier. And then, going to my final years, the under 14s just, felt like one of the guys.
That's awesome. So throughout your footy career so far, who's been the 3 most influential people you've met?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Obviously, including coaches,
players,
even who you play with now. Who it might not be from when you were young, but just from your whole career. Just a few influential people.
Well, Chrissy Steen was definitely really influential going into my draft year at South. She really got me over the line and worked to make sure I got to where I wanted to be in that draft year. And then my mum's always been really influential, and my sister have really pushed me to be where I want to be. And then I guess my first Christie's coach was really good for me, so I can't remember his name, which is bad. But look, he was awesome. So I guess that changed it because obviously at McLaren I didn't feel as inclusive there. So it was to come across there was pretty cool.
Now, this isn't on our sheet. I'm going to ask it. It just made me pop up when you're talking about your sister and your mum. Your sister's a great surfer. And I know you used to surf when younger. Did she ever play footy?
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
so what was it like? Because you're obviously super competitive. Did it stir you on a little bit to go out there and just be better? Was that a key factor as well? Because I know my brother's a bit older than me, but if he was a bit younger and we were sort of in that same age bracket, I'd be like, nah, I'm going at it, and I'm making sure I'm better than you. Was that sort of a thing?
Yeah, I guess when she has played a few games, she's not getting anything off me. But I guess I use her as well because she'll give me the handle because she doesn't really play many, so she's looking for me all the time. So it's also good for me because I get extra stats. Yeah.
Make sure she's in the team, coach.
Yeah, but she played one season, and I remember she got winded for South, and that was the end of her. So she started surfing after that. But
and she's a gun, absolute gun.
Yep.
Anything right now that you wish you could tell yourself at the start of your career? So, obviously you're a fair few years in now to your career. When you first started, and this is for all young women that are probably starting their careers at this point in time, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell yourself at the start of your career?
I can just believe that you're good enough. I think I doubted myself a fair bit. So just have the belief that you can actually do it and you're good enough to be out there and, to get to AFL.
Yeah. Is there any advice you'd give to young and up-and-coming female footballers?
Yeah, I guess for females it's so much different now that you can actually, give it a crack. So I think, the main thing is just get out there, have a shot and, see where it takes you because, it's good time to get into it right now and, wouldn't want to play anything else.
Yeah, and that's awesome, obviously, that there's pathways now. Finally, there's actually a structured pathway for women 100%. To get into the AFL.
It's definitely getting way more popular.
Oh, huge.
Yep.
Every day there'd be more people wanting to play. So
yeah. And last sort of question for your journey as such, this would have happened in the recent years. What point did you actually go, wow, I can play AFL and really get paid to play the game I love as a career? Obviously, the money in the women's isn't huge right now, but hopefully that will grow over time. And I'm sure you'll still be around the league at that point. When did you actually go, wow, I can do this as a career?
Yeah, I guess when AFLW came like into the competition, so it was a real switch for me. Like, wow, like this is actually for real. Like this is something I've dreamt of my whole like life, and it's here. So I think from that point, I just like trained and worked really hard to a point where I actually injured myself. But like, yeah, I sort of just like was then like, you know, this is it. And then South, my last season going to draft year was like pretty unreal, and then winning that premiership and getting drafted was a really good lead up to it.
100%. We're going to change the tune. We're going to come back to footy, but we're going to go into a bit of life, a bit of funny business.
Let's do it.
Firstly, we love traveling. We love it. We love road tripping. We went camping. We're going to actually do an episode. Watch out for it. The Canunda special. It's going to be.
There's some stories from there.
It's going to be huge. Where's your favourite place to travel? I don't know if you travel much, but where do you love traveling? Do you like going road trips? Are you a hotel sort of person? Ooh. Where's your sort of destination? You would have travelled a little bit with footy, but Northern Territory possibly.
Yeah, so I love travelling as much as I can. Such a hard one.
Yeah.
Yes, I like going overseas, just like exploring. But anywhere there's sunshine, I'm there. Yeah. Probably Newcastle is a place of mine at the moment, just because there's some good surf there and good getaway. So, yeah, but it's a hard one. Surf and sunshine, and I'm there.
Yep, that's it. That's a good call.
So outside of footy, what are your hobbies? Like, are you studying at the moment? What's the go with that?
Yeah, so I'm starting to be a primary PE teacher. Yeah, so doing that at the moment, which is nice. Keeps me busy at least.
Yeah, that's it.
And then just try and get out as much as I can. Yep. Surf, skate, pretty much. Yeah, train. Yeah. It's my life.
Now, this one I'm very excited to ask. Social media is huge in today's day and age, and there are some characters in AFL players on social media. Which teammate? I don't know if there is a specific teammate. You guys might be really strict on this. I'm not sure. But is there a certain teammate that you follow on social media that you just love, and why is that? Are they funny? Are they out there? Do they post some wax? Even in the group chats, maybe. Give us some intel.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica Segenary. She's just come back actually. She was at the Crows and went to Saints, and she's back now. But she's a cracker. She is really blonde. Well, she's blonde, but she's not actually blonde. So, but yeah, just her content is quality.
Big shout out.
Big shout out to her. Get around her.
Out of all the the interviews you've done, are there any super bizarre questions that just stand out to you? Like you've been asked something just really quirky or...
There hasn't been bizarre, but I remember an interview where I was meant to be on a panel, like this, and I was the panel. So I had to ask my own questions and answer them.
Right.
It was strange.
That's awkward.
I got stitched up for that. So
that's very awkward.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most bizarre ones that I've done.
Yeah, jeez.
Now, follow on with a bit of funny business. Some childhood memories. Now, we've been friends for a while, and whenever I think of Nikki Gore, I don't think of this rising AFL star. I think of Nikki Gore, the one that I used to play tennis against. Okay, I'll give myself credit. I did win a fair few games, but...
Did not.
There was one game, I remember this. Where we went down and we played a game of tennis, and it was pretty warm that day, and I'm getting worked up just thinking about it. Pretty much the game ended with my dad's racket that I borrowed was broken in half, and I don't think I talked to you. We sort of lived near each other, and we used to walk back, and then off we go. I don't think I talked to you the whole way down, and I just remember that to this day. I remember I'd never been so embarrassed that I was just smacking my racket on the ground. I was like, fuck, this is bullshit. That's a huge memory. So do you play any other sports sort of outside of footy? Socially, with mates, with a team possibly, other than footy?
No, not really. Just still have a hit of tennis here and there. But yeah, not really any other sports. Just, have a bit of fun. Play some basketball. 1v1s. Yep. About it. I remember a few of those too. 1v1s, I remember those.
Yeah.
Basketball?
Yeah, 1v1s, yeah. I won most of them.
Yeah.
Moving on from them. The last thing I'm probably going to talk about on a personal level, is when we play together, it just seemed like you instantly had all this courage and for me, I wasn't a really courageous young football player. I was sort of outside the pack, wait for the cheap ball, do those sorts of things. But you just straight away going back with the flight, tackling people. Was there a certain time where you developed that, or was that just instinct for you straight away when you started football? You just went, nah, I'm just going to do this, or did it come over time?
I think it was just a straight instinct. Yeah, I think going to boys league especially, I was like, to be like them, I just got to go in hard. So I guess from the start, I just went in as hard as I could, and I guess tackling's one of my strengths, so which is nice.
Huge strength.
So far in your footy career, do you have any highlights? Do you have top 3 highlights that you could tell us about?
Oh,
State team would have to be one of them.
Yeah, state's always good. Just get away, and I guess we didn't really win too many, but it was good fun at least. But yeah, I guess probably the premiership with South Adelaide, going to my draft year. That was a really good year, and probably one of the biggest highlights. It was a pretty good team, and I guess the back-to-back premiership was nice as well. Been very lucky to win a few premierships in my time. But I guess drafted was probably the biggest highlight. That day was unreal in Melbourne. Just getting your name called out is probably one of the best experiences ever. Just to actually figure it out, you've got there.
And to get drafted, you obviously need to go something called the draft combine, and I would dream to go. It just seems like an awesome,
pretty surreal,
awesome experience. What sort of things did you do at the draft combine? Were you successful compared to other players? Really want to get an insight into sort of where you compared yourself to those up and coming players, because they were from all around Australia, obviously. And for you to be in Adelaide, you were very dominant. But did it change when you saw those other girls from different states and you were compared to them, or? Yeah,
I guess I was in the national academy, so most of those girls I trained with throughout the year, and so it was interesting to compare, but it was quite a hard few days, I guess. So it's not something you'd actually want to do too much of. It's a great experience, but it was basically just testing the whole 2 days. So I remember we did all our fitness testing, so agility, sprints, the yo-yo, jumping. And then we had 2 hours before the 2K. I just remember waking up, I had a nap on the floor. And I remember waking up and it was half an hour until I had to run, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this. But then I got a PB, so I was like, maybe I should nap before every 2K.
For sure. Pressures and expectations, that'd be pretty high for you, obviously. But is there any that we don't really know about or sort of understand? So pretty much self-explanatory. But when you're coming through those and you're getting drafted, was there any expectations that we don't really know about the public as such?
Yeah, I guess you always have those expectations on yourself as well. I guess still now you still expect a lot from yourself. I think I find more so coming back to a SANFL level after playing AFL, I put more expectations on. I think because you want to get that same disposals, or you feel like everyone's wanting you to perform your highest ability. So I think you have that sort of expectation of you need to be up to the best every game. It's just the standard sort of stuff that I guess every player sort of puts in themselves. And
Now we've talked about a lot of your achievements, and you do have a lot of them. But one thing I'm really interested in has there been a failure that stood out to you, something big that you've just not been able to cope with?
She's invincible, mate. Come on.
Yeah, look.
Even injuries and stuff.
There's been injuries, but I guess every injury makes you better. So I've had a few. One of my, I think, most challenging ones was when I did a stress fracture in my foot leading up to my draft year. And that was quite challenging because just a frustrating injury, and you've put it on yourself basically from overtraining. And Baylor's know all about that.
Yes. Stress fractures are terrible. One of the worst things. All you can do is rest, and that's what sucks about them.
Yeah. It's not really a failure, I guess. It's just sort of something that you just continue to work on, and it's probably made me a better footballer for it. I guess one of the funny moments that I always think back is I remember a game where I was running down the wing. I was we've been from 150. I took 3 bounces. I was just inside like to kick a goal and I tripped over my own feet.
Oh, no.
And I was just like, oh, what have I done? And I like picked the ball up and then like all the players like came at me and I was like, and I just missed it. And I was like pointing. I was like, after all of that, like, I just like dragged myself like, I'm out.
That's one of the worst feelings as well. You're like waiting for the interchange going, is the coach going to drag me? And you're like, you know what, screw it, I'll just drag myself.
Exactly right.
That was terrible. What do you hope to achieve in footy? Do you want to be, obviously everyone wants to be one of the best to play the game, but you being there sort of not quite from the start, but being someone that's, you know, quite new, and when people look back in 10, 20 years, they'll remember this sort of time of the women's football. What do you hope to achieve? And do you want to be sort of one of those best to play? Obviously you do, but yeah, what do you want to sort of achieve from it?
Yeah, I guess I want to be like play the game as long as possible at AFL level. So yeah, I'm hoping to be a 10-year player for the Crows. But yeah, I guess it's sort of like everyone wants to be the best and, you know, that's what you try and succeed to be. But at the end of the day, it's about the team and you want that premiership is the most thing you want. So hopefully that will be in the career.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, I also want to develop, you know, the up and coming. So, you know, want that opportunity for those next generation to sort of build that game and, you know, get it to a high standard.
That's awesome.
So going off of premierships, what does an end of year Mad Monday look like for a women's team? Is it similar to the men's or?
Or do you even have a Mad Mondays?
Yeah.
I hope you do, because if you want a flag, if I want a flag, man,
I'd have my own Mad Monday.
mate, I'd be on a Mad Monday for 4 weeks straight. It'd be huge. What does it look like?
Yeah, look, they're pretty similar. Probably a little bit low key. But no, I reckon the best was when we went to Bali after. Yeah, that was
Could you
that was
imagine
my
that?
first year with the Crows, and we went to Bali for the end of season trip, and yeah, it was pretty unreal.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Players in general, who's the most underrated you've ever played with? There might be a few, but we'll just go from the Crows because you've been with them for a year or two now. So who's one most underrated player that doesn't get the attention that they should, you reckon?
I reckon Sarah Allen, down back for us. She's, yeah, really influential for us. But yeah, she doesn't really, you know, typical backliner. Doesn't get the recognition that she deserves.
Back six get the chicks though, mate.
Is that so?
Shout to John T. Murphy. He's the one that says that. Back six get the chicks. He loves it. We all have AFL heroes. Well, I think most of us do. Like people we look up to.
Yeah.
I want to be like them.
People we aspire to be.
Yeah, Paddy Cripps being one, absolute machine.
What a weapon.
Who is your AFL hero? We'll go from the men's and women's competition. Yeah, so who is it and what do you really admire about their sort of game?
Yeah, I guess it's changed a bit in the men's. I used to always, I still do a bit, look up to Gary Ablett Jr.
Yep.
He's sort of one on and off the field, just, yeah, really respect how he goes about his football. And then Rory Sloane, always liked how he goes in and under every contest and sort of...
Good looking chap as well.
Not wrong. Yeah, so they're probably the guys. And then, yeah, Chelsea Randall's always been one.
Huge.
From the girls, just, yeah, she's the same, like, on and off the field, like, amazing. So, real good leadership around the club and, yeah, really hope I might like her in the future.
Now, is there anyone that you would compare yourself to in the AFL and AFLW? Like, would you say a certain someone you play like or you know, aspire to be like,
I guess I aspire to be like Erin Phillips.
Great call.
She's sort of, that midfield role similar to me, and that sort of small forward as well that can play. So hopefully, I'm not sure if that would ever happen, but
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
Next 5 years, you're going to have expectations, obviously. Every footballer has an expectation of what they want to do in the next 5 years. But what does it look like and what do you hope to achieve? You want premierships, self-accolades, talk yourself up. Don't be afraid. Coach's Box podcast. We love talking ourselves up. Next 5 years, what do you want to achieve?
Yeah, I guess I want to keep playing for the Crows. Would be ideal.
Yep.
And then, yeah, hopefully be, in that higher leaderboard of the Crows as well. Just trying to get my name up there. And then, hopefully I want to get a premiership. So that would be nice. We've got quite a good team coming up. So hopefully that comes the next few years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
definitely. Now, we've had a few fan questions come in.
Oh, great.
So we've
Love
chosen our top 3.
We have.
I just want to say a quick shout out to a special person that supported the Coach's Box podcast
Since day one. Since day one.
She's the first one to
100%.
comment on our post and
Every post.
it's every post. It's not just a 1 or 2 here and there. It's every post.
Yep.
And that special person, do you want to say it?
No, you can say. I know you want to.
Jennifer Gully.
Jennifer Gully.
We love you.
Huge, obviously, fan of Jason's episode, which it's where it all started.
It is,
the Coach's Box.
Definitely.
But we love the support, Jennifer. We love the support. We just love it. But everyone, thank you for the support so far. We hope to continue on, and with this guest, it's just in full flying forces. So,
Sure is.
straight into the fan questions. Do you want to go to the first one?
Yeah. So how different was it when you played mixed footy to then going into straight girls footy? Was the tempo, skill level, and other components different?
Yeah, so it was quite a change actually. So yeah, I guess, boys have played the game for a lot longer. So they had grown up, and then the girls' game that I moved into was basically a whole bunch of girls that had never played a game of football before in their life. So it was different. And yeah, it was quite challenging as well because, don't have that support around you when you need it. But yeah, it was good to sort of, experience that and then, move on. But yeah, would have liked to play in the mixed league for a little bit longer.
Yeah, beautiful. And actually, with the mixed league, there is an age cutoff, isn't there?
Yep.
And that is.
It was under 14s.
So you didn't play 16s, did you?
No.
Yeah,
wasn't
so
allowed.
that's. I mean, obviously now we're lucky. We obviously have a women's league and girls league through from under 14s up. But you definitely could have played longer than that, obviously, clearly. Next question. How did you cope with the more extreme trainings when moving into football professionally? Do you generally get downtime on weekends, or is it just go from there?
Yeah, so I guess, it's quite a big change. Like, I was expecting, a lot of training and hard, but yeah, it was a lot more than what I expected. So yeah, we train basically every day of the week. So at the moment we're in off season apparently, but we're training, 3 days a week, running the rest of the weeks. I think it's 5 days a week or something, gym, and we get Sundays off. So yeah, and that's off season. So once it's in season, it's, even more. So
Yeah.
And are you gymming? So do you go gym certain days? We asked Jason this, and we were super surprised.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a bit younger.
He is, but still.
But yeah, so do you have certain days for gymming? Do you have set structure of when you go to the gym, you know what you're doing every single time, and then obviously you train? Like, what days are for what sort of for you as a young athlete?
Yep. So at the moment, with off season, it's Monday is running and gym, Tuesdays cross training, boxing, and gym. Wednesdays running and gym, Thursdays cross training, boxing and gym. Friday is running and sort of gym or cross training as well, and then Saturdays a bit of cross training as well. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's full on.
yeah.
I mean, we love a bit of capers on a Saturday. No, we're getting into our gym slowly. We did say last episode that we're not into our gym at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting back into it.
I'm not. I'm not. It's bad.
It's really
I pay for a
bad.
membership and I don't go. It's terrible.
Oh, wait, and can we just put it out there to the public? That is one of the worst feelings when you just see.
I see that $40 come out of my account and I haven't gone in 2 months. Yeah, nice.
I'm just feeding. I'm just donating the gym money to not
literally,
use
they
it.
are, yeah. That's where all my money goes.
Yeah, 100%. Last question. Take it away from the fans.
Last but not least, best player you've played with and played against.
Oh, played with, I reckon, short, right?
Oh, yes! Wait, when I wrote that
Don't let his head get too big, alright?
When I wrote that question down from the Instagram, I went, "Wow, this could be me." No, I definitely didn't say it. But obviously,
for real.
obviously, I'm elite. But nah, for real. Who
Yeah.
is the best you played?
Probably with Chelsea Randall.
Yep.
Yeah, she's probably one of the best in the league. So
Yep.
yeah,
And against?
against, it's a tough one.
You can.
I mean, Anne Hatchard is, she's
Yeah.
a teammate, but in the
Yeah.
grand final this year in the
Yes,
Sandful,
yes.
she was very tough to come against. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. So we're getting close to the end.
We are.
And as we explain every episode, we do a quick fire round with our guests. We're going to pretty much, self-explanatory, hit you up questions and we want you to answer them straight away. We want to
Alright.
get to know Nikki Gore and what your instincts are. So Lockie is going to take it away.
Righto.
Alright.
If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Banana.
Oh, yeah, right. Say you're the main character in a movie and you're about to get into a fight. What song do you want to be as the soundtrack?
Oh, John Cena. What is that?
Dun,
song?
dun, dun.
Yeah, that's the one.
Who's the most hardworking person you know?
My sister.
If you were a ghost, what footy teammate would you want to haunt and scare the bejeebies out of?
Jessica Segenary.
What's your favourite sport outside of footy?
Surfing.
What's your nickname?
Turbo.
And celebrity crush?
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably, what's that guy's name? I can't think of Isaac Heaney, that's the one.
Oh, yeah.
You know you had a crush on him when you... What's his name? Oh. Favourite animal?
Monkey.
Monkey. What did Maxie
Or dog.
say? No, was it Maxie?
Mika.
Mika. Yes,
Mika.
he said
Mika,
Mika. What would be the first thing you buy if you won $1 million?
A car.
Good. Very good call. If you could buy any type of food right now, what would it be right now?
Right now. Apple.
Apple? Are you a text or a phone call sort of person?
Text.
Text?
Don't really answer though, but yep.
You walk into a bar, right, and Charlie Curnow comes up to you. What's the first thing you say?
Hey.
I thought we are going to get that from it. Favourite footy team when growing up?
Crows.
And lastly, a huge dividing topic. Tomato sauce, fridge or pantry?
Pantry.
Pantry.
Yeah,
Good call.
That's good.
Anyone that has it in the fridge. I mean, my
Oh,
girlfriend
no.
has it in the fridge, and
No.
it's like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
I don't like it in the fridge.
No.
To be fair, though, we might get a bit of a backlash off of this. You never know.
Oh.
It could be more of a fridge thing now. I don't know.
Well, isn't it like saying the label is supposed to be in the fridge?
Oh, that's what
After
all
it's open?
people that
That's
put it in the
literally-
fridge say.
That's their only argument, literally.
Oh, well, if you read the packaging, actually, it says to put it in the fridge. All right, smart ass. Nice try. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Nikki, and we hope that in the next few years, just like our other guests we've had on, hopefully you can continue with your footy career. Just lastly, we're going to get one last sort of bit of insight. What is it for those young up and we know we try to talk about as much as we could, but those young and up and coming girls, if their head's sort of not in it right now, they're thinking, I don't know if I can go professionally. What's one thing that you would give them as advice to just say, keep going, you never know, you could make your dreams come true?
Yeah, I guess, just don't doubt yourself. Like, yeah, you're never going to find out if you can or not if you don't have a good crack at it. So,
Yep.
yeah, really go for it. And then, yeah, see where it takes you because, you don't want to die not trying and then, regret your choices. So, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you're our dream of playing Redsies in the grand final still alive, brother.
Go for it.
All right, we're going to choose our glasses like we do every episode. Beautiful. Nikki Gore, thank you for joining us in episode 4.
It's been a pleasure.
Been an absolute pleasure. I am Baz.
I'm locked.
It's the Coach Box Podcast.
Signing off.